Good Monday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Conversations Daily News. Well, it's a brand new day, it's a brand new week, and can you believe this week we're saying goodbye to September and welcoming in October? Fall is officially here, folks. It's crazy. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Monday with a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. And in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you'll be part of my conversation with Ryan Bethencourt. Ryan is the co-founder of Wild Earth, which features plant-based diet for your dogs. We're going to talk about your dogs going vegan in a way that may be something to consider. You don't want to miss that. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Monday headlines. In international news, Russia's call-up splits EU. Ukraine says it shows weakness. Russia's rush to mobilize hundreds of thousands of recruits to staunch stinging losses in Ukraine is a tacit acknowledgement that its army is not able to fight, Ukraine's president said Sunday, as splits sharpened in Europe over whether to welcome or turn away Russians fleeing the call-up. Speaking to U.S. broadcaster CBS, the Ukrainian President Zelensky also said he's bracing for more Russian strikes on Ukraine's electrical infrastructure as the Kremlin seeks to ramp up the pressure on Ukraine and its Western backers as the weather gets colder. Zelensky warned that this winter will be very difficult. They will shoot missiles, and they will target our electric grid. This is a challenge, but we are not afraid of that, he said on Face the Nation. He portrayed the Russian mobilization, its first such call-up since World War II, as a signal of weakness, not strength, saying they admitted that their army is not able to fight with Ukraine anymore. Zelensky also says Ukraine has received air defense systems from the U.S. These systems use surface-to-air missiles to track and shoot down incoming missiles or aircraft. Zelensky did not say how many Ukraine received. Although the European Union is now largely off limits to most Russians, with direct flights stopped and its land borders increasingly close to them, an exodus of Russian men fleeing military service is creating divisions among European officials over whether they should be granted safe haven. The partial mobilization is also triggering protests in Russia with new anti-war demonstrations on Sunday. In one city, one of Russia's poorest regions in the Northern Caucasus, police fired warning shots to try to disperse more than 100 people who blocked a highway while protesting Russian President Vladimir Putin's military call-up, Russian media reported. Dozens of women chanted "No to War" in one capital on Sunday. Videos of the protest showed women in headscarves chasing police away from the rally and standing in front of police cars carrying detained protesters, demanding their release. Women also protested in the Siberian city, chanting "No to Genocide" and marching in a circle around police, who later dragged some away or forced them into police vans, according to videos shared by Russian media. At least 2,000 people have been arrested in recent days for similar demonstrations around Russia. Many of those taken away have immediately received a call-up summons. Unconfirmed Russian media reports that the Kremlin might soon close Russian borders to men of fighting age for feeling panic and prompting more to flee. Zelensky, in his nightly address on Sunday, described Russia's mobilization as criminal and reiterated his call for Russians to stand up to it. In business news, Dow sinks to 2022 low as recession fears roll world markets. Stocks fell sharply worldwide on Friday on worries an already slowing global economy could fall into recession as central banks raised the pressure with additional interest rate hikes. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 1.6%, closing at its lowest level since late 2020. The S&P 500 fell 1.7%, close to its 2022 low set in mid-June, while the Nasdaq slid 1.8%. The selling capped another rough week on Wall Street, leaving the major indexes with their fifth weekly loss in 6 weeks. Energy prices closed sharply lower as traders worried about a possible recession. Treasury yields, which affect rates on mortgages and other kind of loans, held at multi-year highs. In entertainment news, Rihanna to headline the next Super Bowl halftime show. Rihanna will take center stage as February's Super Bowl halftime show. The singer, who declined to perform in the 2019 Super Bowl halftime show out of solidarity with Colin Kaepernick, will headline the 2023 Super Bowl, the NFL announced on Sunday, along with Jay-Z's Rock Nation and Apple Music. Rihanna posted an image on Instagram of an arm outstretched holding an NFL football. Rihanna is a generational talent, a woman of humble beginnings who has surpassed expectations at every turn. Sean Jay-Z Carter, whose Rock Nation is the executive producer of the show, said in a statement, "A person born on the small island of Barbados who became one of the most prominent artists ever, self-made in business and entertainment. The Super Bowl will take place at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona on February the 12th, 2023. And finally, more entertainment news. Don't Worry, Darling shrugs off drama, opening with $19 million. After off-screen drama threatened to consume Oscar Wilde's Don't Worry, Darling, the Warner Brothers release opened #1 at the box office, debuting with $19 million in ticket sales, according to studio estimates on Sunday. That made the top 5 movies over the weekend. #1, Don't Worry, Darling with $19 million. #2, The Woman King with $11 million. #3, Avatar with $10 million. #4, Barbarian with $5 million. And #5, Pearl with $2 million. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's on time for a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Monday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Words I Choose to Live By. Nothing is guaranteed, not even that you will live to see the end of this day. What can you do about that? Nothing. What can you do about the moment? Everything. So what are you waiting for? Live your life with purpose and passion, savoring every moment you have to make a difference. Have an amazing Monday. Ryan Bethencourt of Wild Earth to speak today's Entertainment Spotlight. We're here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Ryan Bethencourt, the co-founder of Wild Earth, joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about your dogs going vegan and how they can help. Here's a bit of our conversation.
Ryan, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Hi, Cyrus. Thank you so much for having me and really delighted to join you today.
Well, Ryan, this is, I think, going to be, for some of our audience, especially here on the radio side in the South, it probably is going to be something really new and unique for them. So let's start off by talking about Wild Earth. What was kind of the impetus for it starting?
Yeah, I really wanted to make a healthier dog food. So, over many years, I've had many dogs. My current dog, Lady, she's a 14-year-old German Shepherd. And I really wanted to make better food for them. And so, I'm sure many of your listeners have heard, these recall scares of like, oh, there's euthanasia drugs found in dog food or melted plastic. And it's like, I started scratching my brain. How did that get in there? And it was actually through contaminated meat. And I looked at a lot of the FDA inspection reports and things like that. And I realized I just wasn't happy with the quality of the food that I was feeding my dog, Lady. And so I wanted to make something better for them.
Wow. Well, what a great mission there. So when someone asks you then, Ryan, can dogs really go vegan? Talk to us about what that conversation has been like for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're exactly right. Across the South, I live in the South too. I live in Raleigh, Durham, and so it's kind of a surprise. People are basically like, wait, dogs aren't carnivores? It's like, no, actually, dogs are omnivores like us. And it's like, really? And it's like, yeah, they actually, they can eat. I'm sure for those pet parents that have dogs, I mean, when we're eating, the dogs will want pretty much everything that's on our plate, right? So,
right.
Whether you're having a piece of chicken or whether you're having a piece of bread or, sometimes rice, they'll go nuts for pretty much everything. And so, dogs can actually survive and thrive on a vegan plant-based diet too.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversations Daily News. We're back to get on tomorrow for more news, message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and of course, your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today, and let's go make it a great one.